All right, everyone, welcome back. Day 24 for our RESTassured with Java. So how we do RESTful API testing. So this comes under as a RESTful state or representative state transform API. So for this, come on. Programming. Now, what we saw yesterday, the basics of API, and we played around with request.in. We spoke about all the requests and responses that we get, and we also played with Postman, right? So at the end of it, what is it that we're doing on either request.in, which is a publicly accessible API for us, which is hosted for us to let you do it. So if you're a single user trying to log in, it gives you a good response. We also explored all that about different response codes and so on here. So we spoke about flood operations, get, post, put, patch, delete briefly. We still have to do a little bit more on JSON team and understand the basic. And the different HTTP status codes. One for information, two for success, which is an OK. Three for it's redirecting to another service to help us. 4 for client error, denied, page not found, 404 page not found, and so on. 5 is a since internal system error or server error, and the server is taking the blame that they're not able to process the request. So your typical 200 or 100 is what you're looking at, and 200 is giving you a response with details of whatever it can. So anyone who's able to use this URL and send details and get some information back can do certain thing. So for example, here we're trying to do login. Here successful, which is a post. Okay, post because we're not updating a database in there right now. We're logging in. So it'll keep on posting as a new record onto the log activities there. So that's why it's called login as well. So it's gonna be added into your log. Each time you sign in, it's gonna go and log them. And these are the post activities. So we have a get, post, put, patch, delete. If I want to delete a user or something, then it says 204. So what is 204 HTTPS status code? You have a good list here. Let's put that link also. W3, World Wide Web. So it's not in a tabular format, but it's got a full list team. So let's take this and put it into our things here. Status codes. What response comes to us? So when we're pinging a website, if the website is available, it will give us a 200 OK. In this case, what did it give me? 203, correct? I don't remember. Where was that? Where was request.in? Guys, audible, right? For all of you? I hope audio, everything okay? 203, 204. Oops, see, I'm doing something not correct. Control F, 204. No content. The server has fulfilled the request, but does not need to return an entity body. There's nothing that it's returning as a body. Accepted. So it's still under 200 series. So that is the aim. Please, as you go deeper into API, it's by itself a large field. Get to know all of these status codes, what they mean, and so on. Okay, so all the list of status codes are here. Now, back to request.in, whatever we were doing, we said, let's take that URL. And sometimes we will also take input data. that comes in a certain format with curl brackets and a key pair, a key value pair. So there's a key name for it and a value for it. A key name and a value for it on the right side. So that combination is called a key value pair. We'll also look at w3schools.com a little bit on JSON here. Okay, JavaScript object notation will come to you just to introduce you from there. Okay, so that goes as an input. So now see, earlier, be very clear team. Here, no input, just a URL. Output, that is the response. Request, only URL, no input. Output is the response and a JSON code. Now login successful has a URL. Request always has to have a URL. And then there's a JSON body also going. It's an object. And then response is there as 200. And then we get a response saying token provided you can continue to do your transactions. Once again, so where was I? So transactions. Now let's say login unsuccessful. We gave something incorrect in terms of the data that's required. It says 400 page not found, and that not page not found. That's an error that we can send. Which the where is 400? Yeah, bad request, right? Bad request would not be understood. Bank cannot understand because you did not provide the correct or enough information for it to perform its activity. Right, everyone? So that became a bad request there, and so on. But each time there is some data going, data coming out. Now, what does Postman do? Postman helps us to build a collection of API requests. The request can be a get, post, put, delete, whatever. Now see, we already added 6 requests yesterday. Let's add one more request to this. We have, so I clicked on 3. It's a very simple tool, team. There's nothing much we are doing in it, and you do not have to really focus much. See, it's got very simple menu bar, only file, edit, view, help, new. It is a simple application that helps us to send API requests and get API responses. Also, there's a few more additional things in collaborations and so on. You don't need to use every feature. So we are learning the most important things. Now we're looking at the add request. That becomes the main thing. Everything else is kind of associated around them, or project management, like forking, duplicating, monitor, and so on. So erase all these drawings, and I'm going to click on add request. To the same collection I'm adding, and it will say tell us also which collection we're adding to. Actually, we don't ask. It's save to org 2020. That's the one. So I'll say delete. Rec 7 delete. I'll say, and just delete. Yes. Delete. Close. 400. Bad. No. Which one? Bad. We're getting a 204 error. Is it? There will be delete. Yeah, 204 error. So that's what we want to do. So here, all I do is, where is this delete, correct? So what, hello, I have to edit this. Where is the API itself? Too many open, close all tabs. So these are the tabs that are there, team. Rec 7 delete, it's here. So the command, or sorry, request that we're sending is called delete. And the URL that I'm giving is this. So I click copy, link address, alt tab, paste it, and say, if I say send, am I sending any packet? No. Response should be 204. Sorry. Did I save this? Number 1. Status 405, method not allowed. Okay, I think it's changed there because, oh, I'm sorry. I I use this URL. Let's try it. Click copy link address and save it here. Now save this and send. I was thinking why it gave full file. So there you go. 204, no content. So that's expected. Let me save this. So these are the different ones that we have. We also had some other patches there. It's trying to update. But now, team, so there's a lot you can play around with. Again, either here because it is self-hosted, or you can play here because it has everything. Now, let's say I can add a simple one that I want to go to a website. Let's go to anyot.com. See if it is working on. So I'm just saying a get that. Is it? Yeah. And get URL https://anyot.com. Okay, so that's my thing. So I'm just sending it to test. I should get it funded. Okay, so the website is up. Now let's say there's no website called anyot123, and I send. There should not be anything coming on. It should say no response or not found. So, oops, sorry. Save to one. Why do I hear some sound as if someone is speaking? Yes, I think so. 1 second, team. There is a video of mine playing. It's live project and automation was started that. Sorry if you are hearing that in the background while I was doing it. Save and send. Done. This is my whole collection. So few of these HTTP API requests that we put them together, and I can run the entire collection here. So it would run them one by one and give me a response as to what's happening. So that's what Postman as a tool is helping. So quickly put all your requests into one and look at if everything is working fine. So this is the report. Go see, check the Postman console for more info. This is the issue with that part. But what happened to the others? Let's go to the failed post 1, 2, 3, 5, 5. It stopped after that. Am I unable to scroll or something? That's very strange. That's the overall history of the console. Once again, this was failing team. That's fine. So for now, let's delete this. Select delete it. Let me try and rerun this. I'm sorry, it's almost the summary itself is taking so long. Let me get my Eclipse up. I think I should be able to work with the latest one. Hopefully, let's see. Ready for run the entire series. So delete, everything is great. So all is good here. That's what we expected. That's what we got. Now let us try and write these from Java code team. I want my program to be able to do the same. How can I do that? That's going to be interesting for us. So here, I'm going to browse and choose a folder that we're working on. C drive trainings. Now, for those of you working on any of project, please note that we will be basing our new API keywords based on this session. So this will be a little good start for us. Where are we seeing, please? July 2020, no, July 2020 batch, right? Where's the, I think here, new folder, I'll say, API. Let's see what we can do. Select this folder. Like they've used one of the old workspaces, but there was a lot of issues with Jenkins. I hope, sorry, not in Jenkins that caused this. And I'm not sure about Java itself, team, if I did any messing up on the system. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay. So for this, what we're going to do, team, is we're going to use something called as Java RESTAssured. May 27, 2020. The problem is most of them kind of give us a little confusion over things. Quick start. We're looking at. I have certain, I know up to certain extent, then there's one open code Z. We'll try from those. Only the dependency jar file, let me get it. And then waiting for the Eclipse team. Okay. Up. Screen. Let's go. So while I'm doing that, it will truly help me to. We'll come to this also. We have to learn about JSON. What was I doing? Yeah. Java RESTAssured. Download RESTAssured 3.1.0. That's 2018 version. Is that the latest? Let's try this. Okay. I'm sorry, 1 second. Training. July 2020 here. API. I'm gonna put it here. New folder. Is it done? Show in, no, I don't want to open vending. Show in folder. Scanning it, say. Open with Windows Explorer. So there's a lot here. Let me take what I need first. Sure, need for sure. And second, is to ship comments maybe because I'll need request specifications. Where is HTTP method? You don't see HTTP method or just assured. Okay, we'll see what we may need. Okay, I have some here, so I just alt tap this and put it here. So whatever is not needed, we don't want to add it to a project. Now go back to our workspace and create a new Java project. And I'll say API testing. Just assure. Okay, so JDK 1.4. Yeah, don't have another version team. What happened? What did I do? Cancel. RGR system libraries. That's not fine. Source. Okay. So basic code of what we're trying to do, the same commands. I'll write to some that I remember, then we'll look into some websites team. There are only 4. Let's do a basic get request. So that's the first one. Here, there are only 4 or 5 factors that become important. For us, the main one is string the URL equals. Let us take any of the ones that we were testing on blah blah blah. Is equals to 10 and say single user this way, and it gives a 200 response. So let's get this get. Okay, so I'm going to copy this link address and let's put it here. Once done, that's the URL. Now, what else do I need to pass as an output? Nothing. You get a response equals, I don't know, and this is going to be an integer. So we're going to connect into this. That's my input. This is my output. And there's also response data. We'll look into that too. How do we get the data from the response? And how do we send and so on. Now, plus the first one is RESTassured. Oh, I have to, let's import this. Properties, our build path. Libraries. And it's fine, it's there in that only. So, oh, it's not in this folder. Add external jars. Let me move it into this folder, please. API jar. Hello, I requested here. It didn't get copied. That's the problem. Control C, Control V. Okay, now done. Now it is here. So this whole thing will move it here. Now I go back here, cancel, cancel. Just get this refreshed. Okay, now again it's added. So I can easily check it into GitHub also for you to look at along with the jars whole package. So let's add the jars which we have. Java, these 2 jars. Okay. Now, when I write the code, it should be able to take the accept those. Let's see. RESTassured dot. See, now the commands come because it's imported. It will import base URI. So now it will import RESTassured. So that is good. So base URI becomes the most important one. And that we are sending URL. Okay. Universal resource identifier for like a locator, it's just an identifier. It's just the same URL to which we have to go to. Next, what we have to do is get a HTTP request specification to create it. So this is called a request specification. And I'll say my HTTP spec equals RESTassured. So it basically saying it's defined that the specification of a request, what it should be, and then it's given that it's a RESTassured one, it's HTTP request. For this, we have to import certain things. I don't think we have import request RESTassured specification. It's there, all of it is there within RESTassured itself. That's good. Remember, we imported jar files so far seem to be working okay for us. All right. Now, the next one is the method that we're going to perform. What is the method of request? The method is get in this case. So I'll say the response that I will get, which is my response. So I'll just put as the response one equals HTTP, my HTTP spec because on that specification now, dot, just sending a request, correct? And here there will be method dot, is it request? Method dot get. So method dot will have all the different methods, put, post, patch, delete, get. Okay, all this. So we're looking at get right now. Comma. I don't think I need to give anything else. And finally, int response. Even this I've been importing IO RESTAssured dot response. Let's come in. Int. I already have int. So my response equals response dot whatever we gave here, which is our response here. Res1 dot get status code. And that should primarily return to us the value of this. Say the response from this URI is plus my response. This should be the output. Do you see that code, team? It's pretty simple. I didn't try and expand on that. And response from this URI. So my response, let's run this, save it once. I don't have any starting, so I'll just say here, these two are my variables. So my input URI is plus URL, whatever we get. So at least I know if it's failing somewhere, it'll tell me what's failing, that's failing. URI, Ruby object. URI is working. See, so that print statement came. So my code in general is working here. But it failed on one of the lines. So let's see, basic get rect Java 17. URL here itself it failed. Base URL equals it failed here. Groovy object. Exception no class def Groovy object. Maybe it requires more jar files. I don't know which. We'll need JSON also. So shall we copy everything and put it for now and try? Because we don't know yet which is what. So only the two files. I'll just skip these files. And now let's try and run the same code again. Still, why? Oh, sorry, I didn't get. So refresh here. Char now should be much bigger. Right click, properties, libraries, class path, add jars, API, just name RESTAssured jar. Okay, Control A, no, there. Ting, 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 ting. Till here, we'll say okay, apply, done. This is a problem with so many. By it's saying I can't. This is not enabled. Apply and close. Migrate jar file. What? Build path contains duplicate jar. RESTAssured. Okay, let me see where that red one is. This one. Now apply and close. Are you all with me, team? Yes, Neelami, right. Okay, save. Oh, I didn't do anything. It's all good. Save as. We just save this as a new version for now. One, rec one. Byte lost all the imports. Let's see. Let me add them. I added all these jar files. What happened to it? Refresh. We here. Okay, good. Everything's here. Good. Let's go back to Java build path once. Libraries class path. What is wrong here? All of this is fine, right? Delete it once. Let me add once again. No issues here. Apply and close. Now let me import, please. Okay, there you go. Let me import specifications. There we go. Response, please. There we go. URL. What is wrong here? Method. I already have it. Save that once. Where is on? Response one. What is the error here? I'm sorry, team. Give me a second. It should not take too long. Method.get. Should HTTP method, where is it? io.RESTAssured dot HTTP dot method is there. Why it didn't get imported then? Save. One second. Now it came. Okay, set all the jars into it. Same code. Let's try once, please. Legal, but that's fine. The URI is 200. So see how we could just send a get response to a URI and get the request back. Now I could have multiple URIs in this case, and each URI could have its own data. So let's say I send 25 now. Well, of course, I can't use string anymore. I'm just changing URL itself to 25. What happens to it? 404 because there's nothing there on the page. So now we say, but let's try and do a simple, so we're getting right. So we'll do a post also, login successful. For this, the only thing is we need to send Json data. So I'll talk about Json data very briefly. It is very simple, just like XML, to hold data together. Please focus with me. It's called key value pair key. There will be a key. It represents what the data is, like a column name or a field name on the left side, colon a value on the right side. And that becomes a template. In today's API world, JSON is the very accepted format. XML has been extremely popular during the SOAP and so on, even today, but JSON has picked up in terms of overall things. So now see, this is an object where we're saying key value, comma, key value, comma, key value. At any time that becomes my object and I can get whatever I want from that. So you can get the name of the object or using it basically to store the data. And you can get the data from it or pass the data as an information. So it's a JavaScript object notation, like I was saying, very lightweight, hardly anything, very data interchange friendly. So when you want to be able to send, other applications are also accepting JSON. Even in Postman, we were doing the same thing. For our, where are you Postman? Okay. So for example, what are you saying? Interchange format. Postman also is sending the JavaScript data, JSON data into it, so that it can take a look and then be able to decide to log in or not. So there is a simple thing about Json syntax. Let's look at the syntax one. Name. See, so I was talking about the key value pair. Remember, so that becomes the most important. The key value pair. Data is in a name value pair or key value pair. So there's a type or the label to it and the value. So you can hold one data or hundreds of data just by providing an additional field like ID and so on. Now, so just think of it storing the data so that we can send a quick post information to this. Which one are we looking at? Rest.in, and we're posting for a login successful. So here we're going to do something similar, but new, sorry, Java class. I'm trying to rush up because we have few minutes left. And the basic, what are we doing here? Login, right? Post login. Okay, so I want that. A lot of things will be similar, team. I'm going to copy from what we have and then continue on that. Okay. Let's start with the first thing. What's the first thing that we have to look at? The URL or the URI itself, team. Let's call it the URI. Okay. And that's what we're sending. So anywhere, universal resource and okay. Now done there. Now next, is this screen too small for you? Increase the font size so it's easier for you to see. Now, see, there are only 4 parts to it. RESTAssured.base URI, give that value. Request specification, saying that it's a given specification, whatever is given already. Response is what we're getting back from it. And then we are also getting a status as to what has happened so far. Now, let us try and get some values back. Now, when we're saying login itself, what we're trying to do is, so basic post login, correct? URI, let's change it. What is the login URI here? Link address. This is not putting the link address in the first. There. Login, so that's my URI. Now here is my input data. I need to send an email and password, correct? So if I have to send an email and password to get a response, let me store that somewhere. Where will I store this data? I cannot store this data in a regular format. And that is where I use a JSON object format. So it will help me to store that data and give value into it. That is how I'm able to log in or log out and so on. So let's give this as a JSON object. So we're gonna say JSON object user data equals new JSON object. It's an object at the end of it. And we need to import this object. So I got the response. It will come as 200. This login is available that way. And now putting JSON object. JSON object, why is it not recognizing? Did I? Hold on. Isn't JSON already there in our jar folder there? JSON is there, you see, but I don't think it is enough JSON. Let's see. JSON repeated form jar. Let's say jar. JSON in Java is which date 2014. Sorry, give me a second. Few things to download thing. That's the thing that will take us. So that's where we always have to be flexible towards instant search, please, because not everything is available for us through one, so we have to be able to rely on multiple sources. Oops. And then JSON does, let's see which it won't pick up. Not this. Zip version. Okay, so I have JSON, Java JSON, JSON.path. I don't know, I'm not sure which one could be holding the related Java libraries for recognizing these methods of functions that are recognized for JSON object. Now let me take them. Also, it is still not recognized because I've not yet added them here. So I'll just do a quick refresh here. Let me do it here. Okay. Refresh. JSON has come. Okay, quickly Java build path, class path, and oops, sorry, JS API testing. Sure, Java, JSON, Java JSON. So many are there. Why? I don't need all of them. Okay, so that's good. Now let's see. Oh, good, that's gone. But no, didn't import JSON object. So that's set. So that becomes my JSON objective. Now in here, I need to put the data into it. So the way I put data into it is I'll say my udata dot put, and I will say the key and the value here. So I'll say email is the key and the value for me is this. I'm putting this one after the other into the JSON file. Okay, sorry. There we go. And next, it's new comment. So that's one instruction. Next is this. So it's going as function input variable. So those become my data. Okay. JSON exception, sure. If it's not able to, so I'll just add those exception in general. Should be good. So save this. So now we've not done anything on the application yet. Just change the URL, and this is what we do. Now what we're going to do, team, is I don't know if I have to add anything to do with the header content type. If there's an error, we'll come to it. But definitely, I'm sending. Where's my request here? Specification. My HTTP request specification. My HTTP spec. My HTTP spec. Dot body. Yeah. Is this JSON data that I just created, the user data, but it has to go in a string format, Java string format. So I'll just say that to JSON string. Where is to JSON string? To string or JSON string? I'm not sure. Okay, we'll see. My response will change. Now here's my response. It's response one. Okay, that's fine. That's the first one. The second response that I have is not a get method. This is gonna be a put method. So we will try and put something into the application. And the reason we need to put is for login. And here also we will get our status code from RES2. Let me close this a little bit further. So basic one, JSON object created, body added to string. But I needed to write it as JSON string. Why is it taking us to JSON? Okay. It's not destroying error. We come back. Result 2, get status code. And it basically tells me what is the output. Output in sense is it from. So let's quickly try and run this and see. Edit type also, let me put it in just in case. And then I'll comment it and we'll see that. Spec dot header. See, these are the same things that we will find in Postman. Again, we're not recreating anything new in the view. Come on. Is Postman stuck? Now it's true. See if you go to post login, right? So there's a header here. Header has content of in terms of what content type it is, and we're sending a JSON object into it. So the body definitely is a JSON object that we have to say. So header we have to say, or body also we have to say. Where is it that? What type is it? So I believe I will have to say here header content type. What should be uppercase in this? Comma our application is JSON. Okay. And data string, getting the method put, and then we're getting my response. This is my response. This is run this team for us. That's interesting. So 200, that is success. Both visiting and by sending the put method. Now what if I don't have the password in it? And I rerun this. Hmm. 200 is the response, correct? What is the data also that we need to take? But let me look at this once. So see, once I send this login, it will also give me a data back. The status is 200. If I delete password here, let me just send this. That's an example. Let's saving this. It should give me actually 400 badge requests. That's critical. So and say that error missing password. Why would it give me still 200 here? Method dot put. Where am I using the data itself? I'm sorry. Body done. Now we'll know. It's trying to log in. Oh, come on. Give edit content type application JSON to, it's giving 200 okay only. Method dot put comma 4 parameter. If the email is missed, password is missing, will be something incorrect with you for sure. Let's let me take out the first one. It's got nothing to do with, it's just the login will always give a correct response and get given. Let's search for Java RESTAssured post code. Okay, done. I did that. Header application JSON, that's good. It's a request params to JSON string. I'm sorry. Request.post. Oh, did I say put here team? I missed put here. Team, it's a little late on Friday night, I understand. We'll continue the same one in the next session, but this is getting there. 201. That's interesting. Post. Method dot post put should be the same thing actually. So it's almost. Let's see. Let's go sit in here. I'm sorry. To JSON request params dot to JSON string. Mine is not taking it as to JSON string. It is an object only. JSON object. What else did I say? Okay, let's see this. Shall we try this code here? But it will not again recognize to JSON string. That will be a problem. Let's say best post. Come on. I don't like too many such team. So the JSON object. To JSON string. To JSON string is undefined. Undefined for the type object JSON. One second. So I just checking. Doesn't have a to JSON string method. Instead, it overrides the to string method to generate JSON. To get the JSON simply use object dot to string. That is what I used. To string. Okay, so now all I'm doing is that so status code this and success code. success code. We're going to print this to, oops, sorry. So save this. Oops. Oops. Across, I'm sorry. That's fine. Just save. Test post is done. Let's try and run. That's fine. Simply use object dot to string. And what else did I do then? You need the same library. You need to input JSON simple 1.1.1. So looks like this could be an issue for us because the jars is a challenge team. Simple. There's no jar. Okay, back to our jar here, paste it here, and then back here, import new jar, this JSON simple JSON, is it? I'm going to double check. Fresh please. JSON hyphen simple import jar. Last writing. Okay. Same issue team. Get is fine when I'm posting anything with the JSON data. I'm having an issue. There's so many of it. And how come Google doesn't give correct answers to? That's surprising, right? You can sit in here. One. I'll research on this little team. What's going with the posting part of maybe JSON file and send data. All right, team. I'll see you all Monday. I have a few more sessions. I'll discuss with you on the how we can go about things there. So I'll get this video up for you. I'll try and put it on YouTube because the team has not been available for the last few days. So all right, team. But please look at this and try and copy till here. At least the ones of how we got their theme, what we had to download and few things. I'll put some more links in this and finish this post, delete. We'll try a few of them, put in the next one. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you. Bye for now. Thanks all.